Right now, joined by head coach Anthony Payton of the Massachusetts Pirates. A must game this week against Columbus coming up at the DCU Center.
Yeah, look, like I was saying, every game is a must game from here on out. This is when they all count. In the beginning of the season, we was young and we were learning. And of course we've talked about those things before. But now it's it's getting the time to where we have to win every game. And we have to take advantage of every opportunity so we can get started. So you start going and getting ready for the playoffs.
When I look at rivalries, last year, 3 really close games, not counting the playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
All decided on the last play of the game. This year down by 4 points with 7 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
You're right there with them. Why is that some teams just play you so close to the vest?
I mean, it's a compliment to the players and it's a compliment to the coaches. It's how arena football is supposed to be played. The game is put together for the fans to have a good time and both teams, the offenses are scoring, both teams' defenses are playing pretty good. And it just comes down to that who has the ball last, and that's one of the biggest goals I fight for. Having the ball last at the end of the first half and having the ball last at the end of the game. I really don't care how many points are being scored. It's just as long as we have an opportunity to win the game at the end of the game and win the half at the end of the half.
Talking with head coach Anthony Payton of the Massachusetts Pirates, why have the Pirates, in your mind, put together this 3-game winning streak?
It's because they're learning the game. They're not repeating the same mistakes over and over again, and that's how I gauge my pros. Some guys you can tell you can fix something that they have that's unfavorable, and you have to tell them 3 or 4 times. The guys I have now, and it's a testament to Jawad bringing these guys in. When you get those NFL caliber players and those Division I caliber players, you really don't have to tell them the same thing twice. And so now we're starting to see the effects of having high football intelligent players, and so. They're just learning the game, and so it's getting to that point to where, I told them at the beginning of the season, it's probably going to take about 8 games, for us to get on the roll, and it's around that time now. And so now, we just got to keep putting it together and make sure we're picking up all the concepts, being in the right place, working on our spatial recognition. That's the biggest thing that we are not good at right now, is just understanding that it's 8 players on the field, it's not just one. And so I think that all goes into us carrying this thing out for the rest of the season, just having the right mindset, having the spatial recognition, knowing the concepts, and not repeating the same mistakes over and over again.
I look at this week's game with skilled players for the Columbus Lions. It starts with Luke Collis, guys like Bones Bagante, Paris Mack, Summers McCollum. I mean, they're loaded that way. I think if anybody's tested, it's probably your defensive backs.
Oh yeah, and that's how it is every weekend, and so, biggest thing, our defensive front is starting to come around, and so hopefully we can, stop them on first and second down, get them in 5-step drops, and so we can get to the quarterback. We got elite pass rushers, but a lot of these teams are getting rid of the ball fast, and that's exactly how you're supposed to do it. So we got to stop the short game to make them get into a long game, and when you get into a long game, it's real hard to block us, and so that's the strategy, to stop them on first and second down, and then make them get in 3rd and long, 4th and long, and then get off the field. And then offense go in and do what they have to do.
As we sit here with a 500 record, 4-4, the Pirates have turned the corner. Things are going in the right direction. What does Anthony Payton like about his team right now?
Just the fact that they're sticking together as a team. They're supporting one another. Last year we was divided. Defense didn't like the offense didn't like the defense. This year, all these guys hang out with one another, they have a good time with one another, they support one another, and that's the biggest thing. If we're not in love with each other, we can't play for one another. And so that's another thing I preach all the time. You gotta love your teammate. You gotta be willing to give it up all for the guy sitting next to you. It's the first thing I told him in our first meeting. I said, if you can look to the left or right of you and say to yourself, I'm gonna give up everything for this man, then you're in the wrong room. And so I feel like we have that. It was kind of shaky at the first 2 games. 3rd and 4th game, they started to come around, but now these guys are best friends, and I don't believe they want to let one another down. And so I feel like that right there is going to help us carry this whole thing out.